Major General Mr. Ajay Mishra, General Officer commanding Telangana and Andhra Sub-Area Secunderabad. I believe he'll join us in a couple of minutes. I would like to now invite Dr. Satish Reddy, President, Aeronautical Society of India, former Secretary, Department of Defense, R&D, and Chairman, DRDO, and former Scientific Advisor to Raksha Mantri. Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan, Chairman, CII CIES Advisory Board and past President CII. Mr. Rahul Garg, Co-Chairman, CII Unicorn Forum. Mr. B. Tyagarajan, Chairman, CII CIES Social Tech Platform and Managing Director, Blue Star Limited. We also have Mr. R. Mukundan, Vice President, CII, who's joined us virtually. A warm welcome to all the dignitaries on the dais. Over to you, Mr. Garg, to take the session forward.
Good morning, everyone. I warmly welcome all dignitaries and participants to this CII CIS ICONN Summit 2024. CII and the Center of Excellence for Innovation, Entrepreneurship and Startups are delighted to organize this first edition of the summit with the theme Catalyzing Corporate Startup Synergy. I would like to welcome Dr. Satish Reddy. Sir, your achievements and contributions are many, and I would like to highlight just a few here. Secretary of Defense of Department of Defense R&D and Chairman of DRDO in August 2018. You supervised the missile system developments, including Indian Ballistic Missile Defense Program, NAG, QRSAM, Rudram, Long Range Guided Bomb. You were instrumental in India's first successful test of Prithvi Defense Vehicle Mark II anti-satellite missile known as Mission Shakti. You also contributed to the development of advanced weaponry such as the world's longest range gun, anti-radiation missiles, smart airfield weapons, smart bombs, and missile-assisted torpedo release systems. It is our privilege to welcome you, sir, on this occasion of encouraging startups and corporates to work together. Next, I would love to welcome Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan, Chairman, CII Center for Excellence of Startup Advisory Board and past President CII. Chris, thanks for your continuous encouragement and leadership in last 5 years in strengthening CII CIES agenda of fostering a robust startup ecosystem in India. We really get motivated to listen to your words about how startups in country should continue to innovate and work more and more with the corporates. Next, I would love to thank Mr. R. Mukundan, Vice President CII, for his presence virtually and emphasis on this important topic of startups and how CII is playing an important role in bringing startups and corporates together. Your presence at this summit reaffirms CII's commitment towards fostering a robust startup ecosystem in the country. Next, Mr. Tyagarajan, who is the nominated member of CII National Council and Chairman for National Task Force on Rural Development and Migrant Workforce. Thank you, sir, for gracing this event with your presence and encouragement towards the startups. Last, but while we are waiting for our esteemed Major General to join, let me give a brief intro about him. Major General Ajay Mishra became the new General Officer Commanding of Telangana and Andhra sub-area earlier this month. He has extensive military experience, having served in various capacities since his commissioning in 1992. Major Mishra is a graduate of several prestigious military institutions, including the NDA and the IMA. He has commanded units along the line of actual control and has received commendations for his service. Today, as we speak, India proudly stands at the third largest startup ecosystem in the world, with more than 100,000 startups and more than 100 unicorns. Interestingly, in the last 2 years, we also see many of these unicorns becoming public companies, and it has been a delight for many of the ecosystem to see the graduation of these unicorns entering into the public stock exchange. Startups are vital engines of economic growth and innovation. They drive technology and advancements and several numerous job opportunities, significantly contributing to nation's development. In fact, of the last report, I'll take a brief pause, guys, and welcome the major to the dais. Thank you, sir, for gracing the occasion on startups. And I spoke briefly about your accomplishments, and it's just honor to have you here. Um, Continuing the thought process on the startups and how they are contributing, we realized when we started to have a structured report how startups are the fastest job creators in the country and today have become synonymous with the idea of innovation and India reaching out to the world and disrupting technology in several ways. CII, recognizing this impact of startups through its National Startup Council, ICON Forum, and Center for Excellence for Innovation, Entrepreneurship, and Startups, has been actively involved in enhancing the entrepreneurial landscape in India. It is dedicated to creating favorable policies by advocating recommendations proposed by startups, unicorns, accelerators, incubators, as well as corporates to the Government of India. CIA is also deeply engaged in various initiatives and programs to strengthen collaboration between corporates and startups, such as one of this program, which is key to bringing startups and corporates together and contributing to Government of India's vision of Viksit Bharat 2047. I firmly believe that this first edition will provide a valuable platform for startups and many of the ecosystem people to explore collaboration in various areas. I am delighted to announce that the 2-day summit will host over 90 distinguished speakers plus 15 startups pitching in the sessions from across the country, participating in 7 sector focused sessions on industry startups, academia connect, electric mobility, manufacturing technology, agri technology, health tech, social tech, and defense tech. I believe that summit will further foster collaborations, explore emerging trends, and highlight groundbreaking innovations in various sectors. Additionally, we will witness the release of CII's compendium of the 50 top women in innovation and rewarding select startups for their outstanding innovations in the country. Summit will feature the release of 2 significant reports: Unlocking Opportunities, India Saudi Arabia Startup Ecosystem Convergence, jointly developed by CII Center and Grant Thornton, and Inspirational Entrepreneurs, the Legacy and Recipes, developed again by the center. I'm very happy to inform that ICON Summit is showcasing around 40 startups which are exhibiting from various parts of the country. With this, I once again take this opportunity to welcome all dignitaries and participants, wishing all stakeholders a highly successful summit. I assure with the constant support and guidance of the entire ecosystem, we will continue to aspire to become the largest startup ecosystem in the world. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Mr. Garg. Now I would request Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan, Chairman, CII CIES Advisory Board and past President, CII, to deliver his address.
Thank you, Rahul, for the welcome. Let me add my own welcome to all of you. It's a honor and privilege for me to um, be in such forums continuously. This is probably the 12th or 13th such event by the Center for Innovation, Entrepreneurship and Startups of CII. And also glad to see that the room is packed at this point. So thank you all very much. We have two people here uh, who have significant background from the defense ecosystem, and that's a reflection of the changes that are happening in India. You may not know that defense is one of the most supportive government ministries or departments for the startup ecosystem through the various programs that defense has, both for startups as well as for private sector participation in defense. There is a significant change that is happening in the defense ecosystem. And I'm very glad that we have Major General Ajay Mishra and Dr. Satish Reddy with us today. It's a reflection of the change that is happening in India. I want to then come to Mr. Tyagarajan. Of course, he's the managing director for Blue Star, but he was also very active on the agro side and the social sector. So again, very active segment of the startup ecosystem. Rahul, he talked about everybody else, but he didn't tell anything about himself. He is leading the Unicorn Forum for CII. He's a successful entrepreneur, founder of Moglix. And Moglix has revolutionized the procurement, industrial procurement sector. And of course, we have R. Mukundan. He is currently serving as the Vice President of CII, Managing Director for Tata Chemicals. And this again reflects the importance that CII has given to the startup sector over the years. The advantage that CII brings to the startup sector is, of course, supporting entrepreneurs, supporting founders, but more importantly, connecting startups with established companies, enterprises. And that's a two-way street. The startups get access to mentoring, access to funding, access to resources, access to markets. So, significant advantage connecting startups to the larger enterprises, more established companies, etc. And for the established companies, the opportunity is to look at new business models that are coming, new products that are coming, new areas for established companies to grow into. So it acts as a growth trigger for these established companies, and it also allows established companies to do leadership development by mentoring these startups. So significant advantage, and this is something that only I believe CII is able to do. CII has been promoting the startup ecosystem for several years, as I said, and we have seen the growth of the startup ecosystem to where it is today, the third largest ecosystem in the world. Still a long way to go as India looks forward to becoming, I believe, a $30 trillion economy, Viksit Bharat. I strongly believe that startups' role in bringing new innovative products to market, startups' role in creating new multinational corporations, startup role in accelerating the growth of the economy. The exponential growth that we need to see in our economy will come from the accelerated growth that startups can provide. Startups, of course, create new wealth, new jobs. So the role the startups will play is a very important role as we transition to Viksit Bharat. And that's the reason why CI continuously advocates on ease of doing business, advocates on policies and reforms required to encourage startups. CI also is championing the cause of translational research, bringing deep tech startups from the lab to market, products from lab to market. All of these things are very, very important if you want to transition to become a developed economy, and startups will play a important role. Um, so the role played by startups, of course, with existing companies in economic growth, employment generation, innovation, global expansion. I strongly believe that many of our startups will become unicorns, and from unicorns, they will become the future multinational corporations that India needs. There's a segment of startups that are very important, which is the small and medium enterprises. The startups will migrate to become small and medium enterprises. This is actually the bulk of startups that we will see. Those that become SMEs. And this is very important for rural development, employment generation in sectors like agri-tech, etc., the social sector. So that's again a important segment. And government in all its programs are including startups now, including, as I said, defense, in space, in healthcare, in education. Every segment of government is now looking at startups to accelerate the segment, bring innovation to that segment, etc. So it's actually very exciting period to be in India, to be a founder in India, to be a startup in India, and that probably is a reflection of how active the center is in working with the startup ecosystem. I won't go into the various sectors that we see activity in. Sectors like on the electric vehicle side, health I talked about, deep tech, clean tech, all of that. But let me just focus on what the center does. The center for the startups themselves, we have the Corporate Connect program, the Market Access program, the startup collaboration with among themselves as well as with larger enterprises. So we have programs that connect them to larger enterprises. We also recognize and reward the startup. That recognition actually gives them exposure, gives them funding, etc. So we do connect them to the venture community. For the enterprises, I talked about the innovation program, the Startup Connect program, and things like that. We have a very active engagement with family offices. This is something that, again, the center has been championing. We want to bring more domestic capital into the startup ecosystem. We want our best startups to be Indian owned so that the wealth generation happens here in India. And we do master classes for family offices almost one a month, actually. So again, a very large platform that we have created. The ICONN platform is a digital platform that we have created. It was created during COVID-19 pandemic. This allows startups and corporates to get connected. We have this summit, which brings together all of you so that we can have a platform for physical connect between startups as well as larger enterprises, etc. And of course, during this ICONN Summit, we have panel discussions, fireside chat, keynote sessions, and I see many of my friends among the audience. Gautam Rao is there, and Ashank Desai is there, veterans in the startup ecosystem. So, we will see, you will see them in the in the sessions that follow. So, I'm extremely glad to be here. The CIS programs are growing from strength to strength, and I believe that's a reflection of how this sector is playing a key role in the development of India into Viksit Bharat. Thank you all very much, and hopefully you will enjoy, but more importantly, learn from the sessions at ICON Summit 2024. Please stay engaged throughout the year. We need resource persons for mentoring, for, of course, funding, for programs like this as speakers. So please stay engaged. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Gopalakrishnan, sir. Now I request Mr. B. Tyagarajan, Chairman, CII CIES Social Tech Platform and MD Blue Star Limited to deliver his address.
Major General Mr. Gopalakrishnan, Mr. Mukundan, Dr. Satish Reddy, my dear friend Rahul, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's a pleasure and privilege to address you. My address is connected with a related subject. First of all, I'm grateful to Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan for involving me in quite a few initiatives he kickstarted. One such thing was CII, CIES Social Tech Platform. It's an initiative on funds for failure also included there. So you're aware, CII believes in inclusive growth, and as Chris had explained, it's a startup, MSMEs, and many other initiatives go hand in hand with CII's ongoing program. CII is deeply committed to leveraging technology for social impact. Over the years, we have undertaken numerous initiatives aimed at driving inclusion and sustainable development. So under Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan's leadership, we have launched a platform for social tech startups this year, and I am happy to be chairing the steering committee. The platform is designed to bring innovators, startups, corporates, and investors to scale impactful ideas and transform communities in the social sector. The thought came from the fact that many of us undertake social development programs under CSR. At the same time, first thing is that technology can be leveraged for achieving speed and for achieving scale. That's the first part of it. And wherever Chris is involved, this technology will be part and parcel of it. Many of you in the audience are aware of it. Many of you in the audience are part of this initiative as well. The second part is that there is nothing wrong in making that a venture which can make profits also. So by social tech, we mean these enterprises can have a sound value proposition and they can make profit. At the same time, society also benefits. So to take this initiative across the country, we are organizing regional summits to increase visibility and share the intention of this platform with the ecosystem. So we have also launched a compendium of great social innovators in the country who are making an impact on the society. And I was pleasantly surprised when many of them shared their ideas. A lot of things are happening. And it's quite innovative and bold initiatives which could be even emulated across the globe. You will see that from the compendium. With this platform, we aim to create a robust impact ecosystem, one that fosters innovation and drives measurable social change. And it goes hand in hand with the Center for Excellence for Innovation, Entrepreneurship, and Startups, and rightly housed there. That's the connect between the two. The center is also launching a funds for failure initiative under the social tech startup platform. The fund aims to create a supportive ecosystem where failure is not a stigma, but recognized as a stepping stone to success or for learning from that. The focus is on fostering a culture that encourages bold experimentation and learning from setbacks, especially in high impact social innovation. The program is targeted at social entrepreneurs who are working on high impact ventures addressing critical social challenges. We aim to support the entrepreneurs who have developed and implemented solutions but were unsuccessful in achieving the intended outcomes. By removing the fear of complete financial failure, we want to empower social innovators to take risks and drive systemic change. We'll be looking at applicants who will demonstrate innovation in addressing the critical issue, which aligns with US Sustainable Development Goals as well. And a lot of research has been done towards this and a well-defined impact-driven approach. All applicants will undergo a robust evaluation process to ensure alignment with the program objectives. Funds will be dispersed with a clear focus on ensuring the initiative enables learning and future experimentation for the applicant. We'll have the structured monitoring, mentoring, and the evaluation framework to track the impact of funds, ensuring transparency and accountability. Comprehensive impact reports will be documented and will be published. Through the funds for failure, we aim to redefine failure as an opportunity, as I mentioned, and we look forward to the support of the ecosystem in enabling the impact-driven solution and catalyzing these changes. This is a call to the corporate and investors, and as Chris mentioned, it is the family offices as well at ICON Summit to participate in this unique initiative for supporting social enterprises. I'm happy to encourage the audience here today to share with us the impactful, daring ideas that address undeserved or unknown challenges, deliver meaningful social transformation. I'm happy that this center, there are many centers of excellence, and Center of Excellence for Innovation, Entrepreneurship, and Startup is Chris's baby, and it is located here. Also located is the Green Business Center, which is not far away. And if some of you from outstation want to visit there, and here Mr. Venkatagiri is there, he will be happy to take you there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. B. Tyagarajan. I request Mr. R. Mukundan, Vice President, Confederation of Indian Industry, to address the participants who have joined us. Over to you, sir.
Thank you and good morning. And thank you for the indulgence in allowing me to join virtually. Major General Ajay Misra, GOC, TASA, Dr. Satish Reddy, President of Aeronautical Society of India, Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan, Chairman CIES, whose passion and support has led to this success of this center and who continues to provide the visionary support to us. Mr. Tyagarajan, he has led many initiatives, and this initiative of bringing innovation in rural is something wonderfully crafted by him. And thank you, Tyag, for your support. And Rahul, thank you so much for putting such a rich content along with many others. And also, I want to acknowledge that Rahul and Tata Chemicals are in partnership. We are one of his customers. Thank you so much for partnering with us and allowing us the benefit of the innovation you bring to the table. At outset, I want to welcome all the esteemed speakers from government and industry. And also, it's my immense pleasure to join you all at the ICON Summit. The hall is full of innovators, corporate members, investors, academia, and many good friends I could see virtually. Ashank and Ninad, certainly I did catch as they were walking in. Uh, it is indeed a bit of from my side that I would have very much loved to be there in person. But as CII sometimes has multiple functions in multiple cities, I have not figured out how Air India can connect us so quickly into between two cities. This is the best we could do at this point of time. At the outset, I want to start by mentioning, remembering someone who within the Tata Group who was very passionate about startups, Mr. Tata himself. And in about 11 days' time, we will remember him on his birthday. And he was indeed a moving force within the Tata Group in terms of looking at innovation and looking at startups. And I do remember one of his statement, which he did make to us, the greatest failure in any mission is not to try at all. And I think that sort of gives us the fundamental essence of what a startup is all about. And the second most important thing, when we did ask him sometime about, what do we need to look for, his statement was the most important aspect for him was leadership of founders. If they are passionate, things fall into place. I just wanted to bring these two elements because every time we talk about startup, in my mind at least, his face comes lit up with eagerness to learn more, lit up with eagerness to go where people haven't gone. And the third thing which he used to tell us, and I just want to sort of mention the three things. The third thing he used to mention to us was that generally the opportunity lies at the intersection. And I want to compliment that this entire summit has 3 or 4 words which sort of highlight the intersection. There is a collaboration, there is convergence, there's cooperation, and there's connect. And for example, water and agriculture, at the intersection of water and agriculture, technology and startups can do a lot of work. He would say between water and urban development, we have huge, immense opportunities. So he would constantly look for intersections to build businesses, new opportunities, and also look beyond the boundaries of India to sort of look at opportunities. How do we bring what solutions exist somewhere else to a new setting where the solution can be very innovative? So extremely delighted that we are also celebrating not just success within India, and my compliments to all the winners, but also cross-border Saudi India convergence in terms of startup ecosystem. And it's one of the cornerstones of CII to bring in diverse platforms together to find solutions for the planet. The other piece I just wanted to highlight is complement this movement which has happened within CII under the able leadership of Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan, is that it's absolute delight to know that there are 15,000 startups who have engaged with us. There are about 1,250 corporates who are engaged with us and over 100 government officials. That tells us the power of what is happening in the ecosystem with a broader support, and the wide participation of defense sector and Ministry of Defense and armed forces is a testament to the fact that this is not just limited to the founders and the corporate, but it is a much wider ecosystem which is developing within India. In terms of CII itself, CII has certainly identified the theme for the year is globally competitive India, partnership for sustainable and inclusive growth. And at the cornerstone of innovation, I think there are two broad opportunities which we need to look at, and they will also provide challenge, but at the same time, they provide opportunity, the element of sustainability. And in that, Tyagarajan has already spoken about the Green Business Center, which we have, which highlights various opportunities which exist in the area of sustainability for startup ecosystem. At the same time, I think AI and digital will play a central role in the way industries transform. And we really have to look to how can we make these two elements, which most of us are walking the path, inclusive and just for everybody. In terms of CIS centers of excellence itself, we have a wide-ranging centers of excellence, and this includes logistics, capacity building, manufacturing, MSME, and what we do is knowledge and dissemination interventions. We do have wide-ranging partnership between industry and academia, and we are also proposing to sort of, through our IP services, promote one company, one IP mission, which I'm confident startup founders can leverage this service to take forward this whole point about finding innovative solutions for ourselves. Certainly, I want to highlight that by the effort of all of us here, we are beginning to impact a very, very vast set of areas like waste management, biodiversity, carbon, and cutting-edge solutions in several sectors. And today, startup ecosystem certainly contributes over 140 billion, and it is expected to reach $1 trillion by 2030. In terms of jobs, we do believe that the data of the government itself says about 1.4 lakh startups have led to creation of 1.55 million direct jobs. And lastly, I think this is not concentrated into the main tier 1 cities, but it is going to tier 2 and tier 3 cities where a lot of opportunities and new entities have come in. The point which Mr. Gopal Krishnan highlighted in terms of collaboration between corporates and startups, I think is a very important one. And clearly, we can see benefits of doing this for us as well as for the entities we have collaborated. Has been access to innovation. Large companies certainly benefit a lot by founders who bring a strong dose of innovation. And second thing they bring to the table is speed and agility. I think large corporates do need to learn a bit more in this area of speed and agility. How do you execute speed and agility? The thing which large corporates bring to the startup is resource sharing, risk mitigation. They also bring to table the market expansion. Obviously, there needs to be a cultural fit between the founders and the corporates. And I'm going to speak about this because this is an area where personally I believe that CII can help the startup community and has continued to help the startup community. And the last thing I would say is that our common good has to be to focus on social impact. By whatever means. If you look at Tata Group's, our own mission statement has been to improve quality of life. That's all we say. Our businesses are centered around improving quality of life, and that centers around having social impact. While we say leadership with trust, we want to lead in such a way that we want to earn trust of everybody, and I think that has been the mission of CII too. I'm very pleased to be part of this summit today. As Chris has said, that within CII, this is one of the most important movement, one of the most important centers. And Chris has actually been someone who's been curating, who's been supporting, bringing up to the because CII is seen as a body of corporates and companies which are fairly established or old school and need to engage with the new school. And I think he's been a great bridge for us to bring in sectors like agri-tech, defense tech, e-mobility, health tech, manufacturing, social startup tech. There are several sectoral sessions which are there in this summit, and I really want to appreciate Rahul, Tarun, Prashant, of course, my good friend Tyag, Taranjit and Ranjit Bhatia for their leadership in creating such impactful sessions with such an impressive lineup of speakers in each one of them. I would only encourage the audience that do attend sectors which you are not part of, because solutions in sectors which you're not part of is where maybe there's an opportunity to bring new thinking, fresh thinking, to bring in the next wave of change in your businesses. A special mention, I want to mention all the startup founders and teams participating in the summit. Their involvement is very important. And also, thanks once again to Chris for his dedication, mentoring, and supporting, fostering the growth of this center of excellence. My best wishes. And certainly, we are going to be back in Hyderabad. The next National Committee meeting is in the early part of Jan. And this will be one of the centers which will spend time, and we'll have many more leaders of CII coming there to engage with all of you. And best wishes for a very insightful session going forward. And I look forward to staying connected virtually, even though I'm not there physically. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mukundan. We would be pleased to have you here for the next sessions as well. It is our privilege to invite Dr. Satish Reddy, President, Aeronautical Society of India, former Society, Department of Defense R&D, and Chairman DRDO, and former scientific advisor to Raksha Mantri, to please deliver his address.
Thank you. Very good morning. Namaskar, Mr. Krish Gopalakrishnan, uh, Major General Ajay Mishra, Mr. Tyagarajan, Mr. Rahul, and many others who are present here. Very good morning. Normally, whenever we go for our meet, one is SIDM and all that, we see all the defense industries who work for us and big industries. Or otherwise, we see the startups who have been working with us in through various mechanisms of us. But I see today he's a completely different crowd. A lot of people from B2B business, fintech business, and various other things and all this. Nice to see a different team here. Also, in a like to congratulate Mr. Kish Gopalakrishnan and CII and SIDM for conducting this event, and particularly at a place in T-Hub and T-Works, which actually are built up and bringing up many people. Looks very modern, very youthfulness can be seen in this place. I in fact request people to go around here, and also even the T-Works also, even the CEO also are, they're very young, quite young, Jogender and others who are the CEOs there. Very interesting place. A lot of people are coming up here in this place in a big way. And also very happy that, in fact, I like to appreciate CI for taking up this innovation, entrepreneurship, and startups, particularly grooming startups by the industry giants of this country. Um, Say whether mentoring or supporting or funding, whichever way it is. Very nice to see that environment. I'm sure that CI will be able to take forward and support a lot of youngsters and startups who are coming up in the country. In fact, last 5, 6 years, that's the change what we are seeing in the country, the way the startups have come up in this country. In fact, if you look at the numbers, 2016, we just had about 458 startups in this country. Now, Rahul was saying 1 lakh, it is actually 100,000. It is actually crossed about a couple of months back, 150,000 is the one numbers which is as per the DPIIT records and what we are seeing also. Lots of people who have come up and emerging in the new technology areas and multiple areas. Particularly when I talk about it, if you look at in defense, leaving aside Army, Air Force, Navy, the other two dimensions of warfare which have come into picture in the recent years are the fourth dimension of warfare is the space, and fifth dimension of warfare is cyber. And these two areas predominantly dominated by the startups now today. Look at the way the start, and not only here, even in space sector, if you look at the SBS program, the whichever the tender has gone and things like that, a lot of startups have participated, and even the I think the orders which are coming also, a lot of startups could get that building the satellites, and number of such startups are coming up. And otherwise, even if you look at communication side today, the complete 5G area, many startups which have come up. In fact, a couple of startups which have come up in Bangalore, they're doing a lot of things, including in the military area. A lot of communications related products which are being developed in the 5G domain and coming up in uh, a big way. Working in deep tech areas like one of the most advanced propulsion systems, working on green propulsion, electric propulsion, plasma based propulsion, um, even space based, space situational awareness, quantum technologies, underwater technologies. These are all some of the things which have come up. In fact, another area is a couple of startups have been mentoring here in T Hub itself. Is what generally this country has not been doing much in the medical domain. Lots of medical devices coming up, which are actually first of its kind type in the world itself. That is again what we can see. And there are a number of mechanisms which have come up in the government, various sector. As Mr. Chris was saying, in defense itself, we have multiple mechanisms which have been supporting this. New things which have come up, like the uh, TDF, Technology Development Funding, is one thing. The DIO, Defense Innovation Organization, which has come and which has been funding. The funding is also IDEX, the way it has been funding, it is almost, I think, 250, 300 startups it has been funded. And the funding, which was just about a 1 crore rupee, has been enhanced to about 10 crore rupees now to the startups. Of course, equally, the startups have to pay that. And looking at the scheme like technology development funding, what in DRDO it is there, it has been enhanced to 50 crore rupees, and which funds almost 90% of it. You don't have to look at it. And majorly it is, TDF is majorly for MSMEs and startups, and IDEX is primarily for the startups alone. And then there are schemes like Date to Dream and all that. Similarly, CDOT in communications, they have a scheme like this promoting all these people in a big way there. Similarly, space has come out. And so that is how lots of startups have come and lots of mechanisms have come. The scheme today is that any startup which is encouraged through these mechanisms can directly get into the defense acquisition scheme. There are no other things are required. The startup which is funded and it has gone through the trials and all that, whether it is in the IDEX scheme or DIO scheme or whatever it is, and that can be directly brought into the defense acquisition route and can be taken up. Even actually mechanisms like which there have been restrictions, the turnover restrictions which are there to participate in a tender, they have all been brought down and people can participate up to 300 crore rupees tender without the turnover getting into the limitations and things like that and all that. That is the type of mechanism which have been brought in. So that's how a lot of startups are coming up and trying to do whatever it is in many of these areas is one thing. But still, what I feel is in our country right now, uh, we need to handhold in multiple ways, particularly the startups which are working in deep tech areas. This is one thing, right from funding or marketing, whatever it is. Also, the first thing is any deep tech, um, the funding, whether if he is able to catch somebody to get that fund. Um, for a young boy who has come up going through those processes and all that, I know at least two, three startups which actually were the funding. Other side, people have accepted and there has been agreement between them. But for transferring it, it has come and gone back, come and back at least about 8 times. um, a lot of issues, whatever it is, understanding issues or things like that, and following the RBI rules, all those checks and balances which are required, and unaware of the things and things like that, and all that. Uh, of course, I still feel that deep tech funding here in the country is yet to come up fully the way it is required to be supported the startups here is one thing. Second thing is getting connected to the various departments. entry into departments. This is one more difficult thing what many of the startups face here. How to actually go talk to the right person, understand the requirements, what actually need to be developed. This is another major important issue. Another issue comes up is there is a startup which has come up and trying to develop and reasonably demonstrated the capabilities, but then the tendering process calls for 4 or 5 people to participate in the tender, how to make them, or otherwise there is a one company gets tied up with another foreign company which has also got this technology, tie up and participate in this. So the poor young boy here, I don't know what he needs to do, how to do it, and all that is another issue. Then next is the quality, what type of a quality standards he has to follow, how to go through the process. This is one more issue. And third, fourth is the certification related issues. What type of certification process? I'm not talking about defense alone. Even the people who are working in the medical devices or medical related equipment, what are the processes, what they have to go within the country and how to get it and how to see that the product is certified, that you can actually go ahead and sell it and all that are some of the issues what the startups, what I've been mentoring. In fact, a lot of startups have been somehow getting connected and working with them, mentoring them and all that. When you see, these are all the some of the issues which actually we need to address it. I'm very happy that CI has taken up this. Almost all whatever I mentioned are there part of that scheme, that we will try to look into all these things, both funding and mentoring and guiding and all that also aspects what has to be seen. In fact, if you look at T Hub also has got all these processes in built in, that they also connect to the technical people who can give you technical guidance, who also can do some marketing related aspects and all that. All those aspects are there part of the T Hub. Maybe we need to see the way need to be expanding and looking at the startup the way they are coming up, and we have to formalize mechanisms and bring in these mechanisms to those youngsters the way they are coming up and flourishing. Beautiful technologies, actually. I'm telling you, some of them I can name. They're first of its kind in the world, globally first of its kind technologies which have come up with these areas. What I have mentioned, the technologies which the people are coming up, and the valuations are also very high, and quite young people, 26, 27 years old. In fact, I can tell you, in the last 2 months, I've attended 4 marriages of 4 startups people, young people. They're just 26, 27. And their valuations are more than 200 crores or whatever it is. So such is the way it is grooming. And so there is a serious need to understand the problems of them and try to whether what we can do as CII or industries here, or what we can impress upon the government, that we need to simplify a lot of processes and things like that, is one of the important aspect what we need to look at. So I request in this uh, uh, various sessions what we are having, look into each issue and address them, try to understand, and probably each session the issue should be brought out, and maybe after that whether we are able to get solutions here, or a team can sit together later, come out with for the issues what have been brought out here, or which people have addressed, find the ways to come out of those things, that processes, how to bring in. We should be able to generate end of this conference, whatever icon conference, what we are doing, end of it, we should be able to come out it, and whether government or outside the government, how to resolve that is the need of the hour, what I feel very, very, very strongly. So my best wishes for the conference. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, and all the best to all of you. Jai Hind, Namaskar.
Thank you so much, sir. It is our honor to invite our guest of honor, Major General Mr. Ajay Mishra, General Officer commanding Telangana and Andhra sub-area, Secunderabad, to please address the participants.
Jai Hind. Yesterday was the Vijay Divas victory over East Pakistan. So it's an absolute delight to be here. I would say a bit unnerving to have such distinguished speakers who've spoken before me and have such a great and distinguished audience. And I see now that I have your attention, I'll move forward. Thanks. Delighted to be here. Um, we have listened to some great thoughts. Firstly, my compliments to the Center of Excellence of Innovation and Startups and Enterprises who's heading this event. I would say a very, very apt theme. Catalyst is the one which sort of kickstarts the process. So the summit, I think, is very aptly strategized as far as the thought goes. And I would say the venue is also very apt. We are sitting at T Hub. I've been fortunate to be here in some other events, and I suppose this is in itself a place which is an accelerator, and that's probably what we all want to do. Uh, Sometime back here, initiative called T Drive was launched. There's a bit of synergy. That's also towards the defense space. I'm mentioning that. It's a local initiative though. My knowledge about startups may be limited. I have a few thoughts. I gathered them today morning. Uh, I feel startups are, of course, critical for our nation, for our country, for the economic development, employment creation, and solving countries' real problems. And hence, it was very, very heartening to see about the social upliftment in the space that was talked about, where we solve real problems. So that's really amazing. Uh, about our ecosystem, I think we are the third largest in the world, and we have 140,000 startups. That's my figure. We have already created, I mean, we have a century of unicorns, let me put it that way. And we're moving ahead towards creating more unicorns. In terms of total market capitalization, I suppose we have US 350 billion plus. But in terms of VC funding, my figures of 2023, we are at about 6 billion plus. So I suppose that's one area all of us, if we got to really accelerate the ideation and innovation to execution, got to look at that. Certain challenges as a common citizen of this country, which the startups probably face, four of them. First and foremost is revenue generation in India. Secondly, lack of, probably not true here, but supportive infrastructure. Uh, Maybe the regulatory environment, and lastly, maybe the tax structure. These are very, very, I would say, uh, personal thoughts. I don't know whether you agree. So I was thinking to myself that we have a session tomorrow, and we have Dr. Satish Reddy, and I think General George is also here. So we have a full session on defense technology tomorrow post lunch. So let me not sort speak much about what they're going to discuss tomorrow, and I leave it for the panelists to take it forward. What I thought to myself is that I can sort of, to some of us, just reintroduce the ecosystem. Where do we fit in? Very, 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 very at the broad level. All of us know about IDEX. The full form is Innovation for Defense Excellence. And it's of course an initiative to foster innovation and technology development, engaging three pillars: industry, startups, and academia. I guess all of us are here, so we'll probably hear more about how it fits in tomorrow. But what the process, how it's taken forward, we have something called as teams coming up to the forward areas, to the defense, the difficult locations, the borders, and the high altitude locations called forward area tours, where the industry representatives come. And that is where the real problems are told to them. And that is where they experience them firsthand. So they probably go back with certain problem statement. And then I suppose is our Indian Army Design Bureau, which comes in to solve problems. IDEX is one part of that route. There are many other routes. So that's the brief on the ecosystem. Uh, Moving away from this brief, I suppose in today's world, uh, in the VUCA world, black swan events are probably just there, and they're going to keep coming. As a nation, probably Dr. Chris wanted me to mention, and I think I agree with him, our approach towards strategic autonomy has helped us. And Indian defense industry needs to be self-reliant. That's what I feel. And for that partnership in whatever form, I am just one of the representative who happens to be here. But at the larger thought, we need to be self-reliant as a nation, including the defense industry more so. So right from technology to the supply chains, we got to be self-reliant. We all know that we see the conflicts in the world. So disruptive technologies actually change the way the battles are fought, or it's actually transformed warfare. And most of us do hear this in various news channels and YouTube channels, and I suppose everybody understands what I'm talking. Indian Army had this year declared as the year of technological absorption. So what it means is that the systems which are in vogue, the legacy systems, you upscale them by infusing technology, and then you identify niche technology and go into the route of R&D and develop and get into certain innovative solutions. So our defense forces, Indian Army is on to that route, and you would be glad to know that this year was the year of technological absorption. Uh, so in specifics, about 45 niche technologies have been identified for military application. And in terms of projects, if my figures are correct, more than 120 projects are currently on to get something end of the spectrum to have a working solution. Uh, Across multiple routes, of course, innovation, incubation, and development. We also have a centers of excellence. As one center of excellence is leading this today's theme and discussion. For example, we have a center of excellence in Mau, which is in Madhya Pradesh, and its focus is on 5G, AI labs, quantum technology, stuff like that. So we have centers of excellence in PAN throughout, and we focus on certain technologies. Again, just to get a brief understanding. I'm sure all of us do understand, but that particular thing is incubated by or supported by IIT Madras. We also are into various emerging fields. I'll name a few. Artificial intelligence, of course, exciting things are happening all over the world. In the NLP, facial recognition, satellite imagery analysis, we have done some way. And we moved some way forward, and there are people working on that. And probably somebody is also trying to get together a high-powered, high-computing AI cloud. So we are working towards that, and that is how we are partnering with some people. In the Internet of Things, or I would say Internet of military things, we're trying to converge 5G with smart surveillance, drone control, stuff like real-time augmented virtual reality. So there is work on in that field. In robotics, you would be glad to know that MCME is here in Secunderabad, and they work a lot on that. So our focus is on manned, unmanned teams, as the Ukraine war and the recent wars have given us the real importance of being in a manned, unmanned configuration. I'll speak about this in the end. Please just note this in a very different form, manned, unmanned. Space, I should not speak with Dr. Reddy here, but of course we are trying to exploit our indigenous space technology. Hyderabad seems to be a place where all these technologies converge. Recently, there was a geospatial conference here just a few days back, which focused on geointelligence. So I suppose as a nation, we are moving forward for multiple roles, multiple fields. And the theme there was technical convergence for empowering geointelligence, just sharing. So what I feel this dual use of technology is a win-win for all. Win-win for all, get the ecosystem right, get the technology right, get the cost low, and sort of move ahead. Focus, of course, to converge and make in India. All said and done, I'll keep it short here. So I'm almost close to signing up. Especially technology is changing way too fast. Way too fast. The way our kids use the phone, we don't use. The new iOS system has come, and the iPhone 15 or 16 could be used in a different manner. So it's moving too fast. It's just an example at probably my age. I have senior than me people sitting here. We need to, of course, innovate, keep pace continuously or be left behind, adapt or innovate. So here is an example which I wanted to give when I said man and mind. Just yesterday, I was reading Elon Musk, is a big disruptor and now is in. He wanted to cancel the F-35 program, as per one news article. And God knows how many billions of dollars have already been invested. He wants to replace it all with drones. And it's a big article there, and it's shaken up a few people there. So in the defense, in the current sort of technology community, it is Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, and Palmer Luckey, the guy who sort of was a co-founder of Andrew Neil. These guys are disrupting everything. For the good, for the bad, time will tell, but they're disrupting. And who's affected? They're trying to reboot the whole system. So first is Department of Defense, second is the defense services itself, and third is the industry. So I think we all need to smell the coffee, understand what's coming up, and thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening and insightful address. With the permission of Major General Ajay Mishra, Dr. Reddy, and other distinguished panel members present, we will now have the announcement of winners and recipients of certificates of appreciation for the CII Startuppreneur Awards 2024. CII Startuppreneur Awards 2024, launched in 2018, aims to promote innovation and nurture a vibrant entrepreneurial ecosystem. The awards will be presented across three main categories: excellence in products, technology, solution by startups, best social impact startups, and best women-led innovation. The awards have taken shape with the high contribution from our amazing group of experts and grand jury under the leadership of Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan, Chairman, Grand Jury, CIS Startuppreneur Awards 2024, and Mr. C.K. Ranganathan, Chairman, CII Startuppreneur Awards 2024. May I now request Major General Ajay Mishra, Dr. Reddy, and other distinguished panel members to please come forward on the dais and present the awards to the winners. I'm delighted to announce the winners under the category of Excellence in Products, Technology, and Innovation by Startups. Excellence in Product Solution Award is presented to NewTrace Private Limited for their groundbreaking solution to decarbonize industries through green hydrogen. We warmly invite the NewTrace team to kindly join us on the dais to receive the award. Congratulations, Team NewTrace. Excellence in Technology Solution Award is awarded to Minimind Cleantech Solutions Private Limited for their cutting-edge technology that enables recycling of lithium batteries to regenerate battery-grade raw materials. We invite the Minimind team to come forward and accept the award. Well done, team Miniminds. Another Excellence in Technology Solution Award goes to Jidoka Technologies Private Limited, Chennai, for the innovative quality control system designed for the manufacturing and warehouse industries. We kindly request Team Jidoka Technologies to step forward and kindly accept the award. Well done, Team Jidoka Technologies. The certificate of appreciation in this category is presented to Get Vantage Tech Private Limited, Mumbai, for their exceptional excellence in technology solution in the fintech sector. We invite the Get Vantage team to come on the dais to kindly receive the certificate. Well done, team. Get vantage. Moving on to the next category, Best Social Impact Startups, we're thrilled to announce two winners in this category. The Best Social Impact Startup is presented to PatCare Labs Private Limited Pune for the outstanding social impact through innovative recycling of used sanitary pads. We request the PatCare team to kindly join us on the dais to collect the award. Congratulations to the PatCare team. Moving on to the next category, Best Women-Led Innovation, we are proud to announce two winners in this category. The Best Women-Led Innovation Award is presented to Medtrime Technologies Private Limited Mumbai for their groundbreaking tablet and smartphone integrated microscopes, enabling pathology services even in rural and underserved areas. We kindly invite the Medtrime team to join to receive the award. Congratulations, Team Medtrime. The Best Women-Led Innovation Award is also presented to Connector Foods Private Limited Pune for the innovative sugarcane juice robotic vending machine Connector to come forward and kindly receive the award. Congratulations to the Connector team. A certificate of appreciation under the category of Best Women-Led Innovation is awarded to Indicol Private Limited Delhi for their efforts in building a sustainable coal supply chain. We invite Indicol team to kindly come onto the dais and accept the certificate. Now, a moment to celebrate women in innovation. We are proud to release the second edition of our Top Women in Innovation Compendium, a tribute to the remarkable women during transformative changes across India. This compendium serves as a valuable resource and a source of inspiration for aspiring women innovators. It is developed by CII in partnership with PwC. We would request the dignitaries to continue staying on the dais for the release of the compendium. May I request Mr. Arijit from PwC to kindly join other dignitaries on the dais to witness this release. Also request for a group photograph with all the dignitaries. Thank you, Mr. Arjit. We are now delighted that this year CII in association with Grant Thornton has come up with a report on unlocking opportunities, India-Saudi Arabia startup ecosystem convergence. I would also like to welcome Mr. Dharmendra Jam, partner GT, to join the dignitaries on the dais to witness this release. We're also delighted that this year CII CIES has developed a report on inspirational entrepreneurs, the legacy and recipes. This is a unique initiative by CII CIES that aims to celebrate and document the remarkable journeys of India's most successful entrepreneurs. The report will feature in-depth profiles of these inspiring individuals, capturing their entrepreneurial journeys, their unique approaches to business, and valuable lessons they've learned along the way. May I request the dignitaries to kindly stay onto the dais for a group picture as well. We are excited to announce that the letters of engagement with Blue Star and Kaveri Hospitals for CII CIES market access initiatives are now being exchanged with the Center of Excellence for Innovation, Entrepreneurship and Startups and the respective corporate partners. May I request Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan and Mr. Tyagarajan, the Chairman CII CIES Social Tech Platform and the Managing Director, to kindly exchange the letters of engagement. Thank you, Mr. Tyagarajan, Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan. I kindly request the women entrepreneurs who are a part of the women-led compendium to be on the dais for a group picture. May I also request Mr. Arvind Ganeshan, Head Digital Strategy, Kaveri Hospitals, to also exchange the letter of engagement with Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan. Um, Apologies for the confusion. Can I now request the women entrepreneurs to please come on the dais for a group picture with the dignitaries? May I now request Mr. Rahul Garg to give his closing remarks and a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy, Major General, Mr. Chris, Mr. Mukundan, Mr. Thiagarajan, to share their valuable inputs on how the startup ecosystem across the variety of sectors, whether it was defense tech, which we spoke about passionately, how do we need to indigenize many of our defense ecosystem, but also around the areas of manufacturing, the areas of agri-tech, the areas of social tech, how startups are playing role in every sphere of lives, both as businesses as well as consumers, that is changing across us. It is also great to see the various innovation that was showcased today, both in terms of different technologies for waste management, women-led entrepreneurs that are continuously encouraged by CII to come at the forefront and continue to pick up problems which are very indigenous to India. So next 2 days are going to be phenomenal with all these startups. I encourage all the delegates who are present here to visit the exhibition, interact with as many startups as possible. And just like Mukund said, it was privilege for Moglix to participate and partner with Tata Chemicals. But I've also been a beneficiary of having Sir Ratan Tata as one of our early angel investors, and he has been a lightning important person in our journey as Moglex because we look up to him and his idols are with us all the time. So with that, thank you all and enjoy the next 2 days interacting with the startups. Thank you.
As a token of appreciation, we would now like to present a memento to our dignitaries along with a rewritable book. It's by one of our startups, and it's an environmental friendly notebook, recyclable one as well, well integrated with the phone app. Our sincere thanks to all the dignitaries for your time and valuable insights. We also thank all the sponsors to support the conference. With this, we come to an end of the inaugural session, and we will start the first session of conference at 11:35 a.m. Thank you all.